All right, guys, the Utah Jazz lose a tough one to the Houston Rockets. This is Hanson James, and this is the SLC Dunk post-game show. Really not a lot to take from this if you're a Utah Jazz fan. The Houston Rockets, who I want to talk about first, are incredible, and incredible teams sometimes beat you by a lot of points, and that's what happened tonight. But we're going to talk about this game a little bit. I want to talk about the Houston Rockets, who honestly, right now, and they might be pretty soon in the playoffs too, are the best team in the NBA. They have the MVP in James Harden. They have Chris Paul, who after getting healthy has now gelled with Harden, and you could argue he still needs some gelling to do. But the Houston Rockets look incredible. They are hitting shots. I mean, I don't know if Ryan Anderson hits 100% of his threes every game, but he hits them at a regular rate. So the Houston Rockets are great. James Harden deserves to be the MVP. I know LeBron James is just killing it right now, but James Harden is just an exceptional talent. He leads that team. You've got to give props to Harden for being able to figure it out when they bring in another superstar like Chris Paul, because things like that don't always work. Like what you're seeing right now in Oklahoma City with Melo and Westbrook and Paul George, it's not really working. Tonight they had another bad loss. Houston, on the other hand, has just seamlessly brought in Chris Paul, who missed the first month of the year with an injury, and he's right. He's obviously right, because tonight, let's see, Chris Paul had 18 points on 50% from the field, 9 rebounds, 13 assists. So he's one rebound away from a triple-double. He is exceptional. He is unbelievable. I don't know what else to say other than that the Houston Rockets are incredible. So you have two superstar talents, two future Hall of Famers in James Harden and Chris Paul. That's what you need to win a title. You need two Hall of Famers, and then to go all the way, you need exceptional role players whose games go to the next level with Hall of Famers. So you got Ryan Anderson, Trevor Ariza, Eric Gordon, who Eric Gordon himself, borderline all-star type player. Clint Capella is a really nice center for them, just continues to get better. He's the perfect center for what they try to do. So the Houston Rockets are just exceptional. Harden is incredible. Chris Paul, you know what Chris Paul's bringing, the point god of the NBA still. Just incredible, incredible team. And if you're a Jazz fan, not a lot to really be worried about here other than that, we've got some issues, and we'll talk about those now. But Houston Rockets fans, be excited. You've got a great team who is just gelling incredibly. And the thing that's even more impressive about the Houston Rockets, I think they have a top 5 defense in the NBA right now. After tonight, it might be number 1. So that team is going to be good. And I don't be surprised if they beat the Warriors. The Warriors are, they're all-time greats, but this team is just perfectly put together. They've got 2 Hall of Famers that can now play together. In the playoffs, you're going to be able to just, Harden's not going to get exhausted when they go to the playoffs. Last year it was just Harden and then role players. This year he's got a superstar across from him who can take some of that load, and it's going to be interesting when Houston goes and plays the Warriors, and don't be surprised if all of a sudden the Warriors don't look very good with that elite Houston defense, and the Rockets being able to score and draw fouls and hit threes. I mean, that team's incredible. Where's the weakness? There's no weakness. They've got the defense. They picked up PJ Tucker, who's nice. Clint Capella's nice defensively. Chris Paul is arguably one of the best point guards. I mean, he's older now, but still one of the great point guards in the NBA. So just hats off to the Rockets. They're incredible. If you're a Jazz fan, no need to get worried. There's some things with the Jazz that are frustrating. Before we get to the Jazz, let's see what the question. Johnny Proctor, Anderson whipped us, not Harden or CP3. Well, you got to ask yourself, why does Anderson whip us? Because you've got the 2 of the best passers in the NBA on the Houston Rockets who also hit shots at a high rate, Chris Paul and James Harden. I mean, he's getting wide open shots because he's playing with 2 Hall of Famers, and he can hit threes with regularity. So I don't know, Johnny Proctor, we can beat the Rockets with the right lineup. Check the plus minus. I don't know about that. That's a bold statement. I mean, I think we can beat them here and there if we get a hot night where we hit a lot of shots, but Rockets are good, guys. The Rockets are very, very good. Don't get too frustrated when you lose to the best team in the NBA. I don't know. So Houston's really good. Let's talk about the Jazz. So, Donovan Mitchell is a superstar. It's just amazing how much the national media loves him. He's incredible. He's so fun to watch. Even when you're losing by a 50,000 point deficit to the Houston Rockets, Donovan Mitchell still finds ways to just have these highlight plays that are incredible. He's so much fun, and he's going to be great for years, and he's ours for 7 years. So, guys, this December is going to be really tough for the Utah Jazz. We play OKC 2 more times, which can we please find a way to be OKC when they're struggling? Why do they not struggle against us? Why is it everyone else? What the heck? And then we've got to find a way to just Rudy's not right, and the Jazz need to find a way to get him right. It's just going to take time. You can just tell that movement is just not there, and it's tough. It's just tough. And the Jazz have makeup issues. Here's a question from Georgie. Do you think Favors is more effective as a bench player and reliever for Gobert? I don't know if that's the problem. I think our problem is that we have a point guard right now who can't shoot and is struggling mightily. I like Ricky Rubio a lot, but he is struggling. It's tough to score when you have 3 non-shooting bigs on the floor. We're seeing it again. When Rudy was down and we had Favors and Rubio as the only non-shooting players on the floor, it was a whole different story. But once you have 3 non-shooters, it makes it very easy for the team to be guarded. So, I don't know if it's necessarily Favors Gobert. I have a feeling it might be our point guard, but there's not a lot we can do. And honestly, guys, when we talk about trading Favors or trading Rubio, who's trading for them right now? Are you trading for Rubio if you're someone else? Probably not. And if you're trading for Favors, you know that you only have him for the rest of the season, and then he might leave you. So you're not going to give much for that. So if the Jazz trade Favors and get a second-round pick, I don't think Jazz fans should be too frustrated. But you know what? It might be that you just want to wait till Dante gets back and see what it looks like, because he might have more value just playing for you, and then have Rubio come off the bench. I don't know if Favors coming off the bench is the solution. Maybe it is. Jerebko looked great as a starting power forward. We were also playing lesser competition. That's the thing, guys. When you play teams like the Houston Rockets, you don't look as good. They're very, very good. That's just the way it is. When you play the Rockets or when you play the Warriors, sometimes you just don't look very good. It doesn't mean your team is bad. It means you're playing a team that's really, really good. So don't worry. The Jazz will be fine. They're going to win 40-plus games this year. December's just rough. And do we have to play the Rockets again? Can we? I don't want to play the Rockets again. They're very, very good. So that's just kind of the makeup of the Jazz. It's just there's a few pieces that don't quite work. It'll be fun to see Dante come back. There's not a lot of moves that can be made for the Jazz right now, so it a little bit is kind of it is what it is. As Jazz fans, just be excited we have a superstar on our team in Donovan Mitchell that the national media just adores Donovan. They are watching this game, and even though we lost by a lot, Donovan Mitchell was a blast. So, don't worry. The Jazz, this is the rough stretch. We knew this stretch was rough, and now we're just going through it. So just keep going, guys. You'll be okay. Eventually, Dante comes back, and when he does, it's going to be really fun. I don't know when or if he does come back, but when he does, it's going to be super cool. And he probably starts, because is anyone going to argue whether Dante should start at this point? Probably not. So, guys, remember to make sure and like this video on Facebook. Go to SLC Dunk. Like and subscribe to the video as well. Make sure to go. Honestly, you should be following us everywhere. It's SLC Dunk, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And if you're not, what are you doing? We're the best site out there. We have the best opinions out there. The other sites are wrong. We are correct. All right? All right. You all knew that. Okay, talk to you later.